Hello everyone and welcome back to Hemel-Down Model Railway. So today's video is all about the creation of the top section. So let me show you what I've been up to over the last week. So this is currently where I'm up to. I've made the back section up here. I just have to cut a new piece of wood to link up this section in the corner here. I've built the frame for the top section with supporting legs there, the other side and some at the back. I need to lift that board off and then just do a little sort of cross frame underneath just to support the plywood in the middle there. And then equally with this piece here, what I'll be doing is just putting a couple of lengths all along down the bottom there. This entrance I'm going to leave open for a little while because I'm going to run a line through the back there, and then I'll work out how I can close that up and then still get access to be able to clean any tracks and stuff down at the back there. So now I'm working on doing this top section here. So what I've done is just to temporarily add in a piece of plywood. So I'm just literally cutting that to shape now, working out my measurements. That's at the kind of the right height that will come off of the end of this one. What I'm going to do is put a little supporting block just under that bit, and then there'll be like kind of a leg there, and then they'll go all the way down through this section here. So I'm just mapping out now roughly where everything is going, and then I can start working on some tracks that will come through here. So I'm going to have my town scene along here, some houses and stuff, like the backs of houses all along that section. And then coming in from this section here, there'll probably be maybe a house or two. And then there'll be sort of like leads into a little bit of a sort of hillside that will cut through on that corner. So the trains will come through, bank round there. The two lines double all the way through and then lead off up to the back section up there. So yeah, the vision is coming alive now. I'm then now working on sorting out some tracks that will be down on that side. I've given myself 7 inches in width for the top section, so that's more than enough. Considering that the viaduct is only 4 inches wide, that'll give me enough to do a little bit of scenic either side, getting some like bridge walls in there and stuff, and a load of sort of detail on the top of the track and where the ballast will be. So yeah, really happy with it so far. I'm going to crack on with a little bit more, and I'll bring you back once the support is in place for this section. So I've now cut a load of supports for the middle section, so those will double up and then one on top. So the track will span, or the raised section will span over that, and then these will be dotted in increments down on this bit here. If I bring you over to this section, what I've done here is the end of this board here. So this is the raised section. I've gorilla wood glued the end plate, and then I will pilot hole through there, and then what I'll do is then attach it to the front of that section there. Right, so I'll get all these glued into place and then start working out where I put them down in this section here. So I've now fixed in place the top section just in there, so I just have a couple of screws either side. I've just added my supports in, but these are not glued in or anything. They're literally just here at the moment, just to sort of place and work out where the sections will go, and then what angles I need to cut for the top section on here. So the lines would come off the back there, they will curve round and then meet up with the two tracks that are on this section here. So it's about 8 inches wide, just to give me enough room so that I can put a set of points in. I will move these over ever so slightly, just so that I've got enough distance between the end of the tracks there. And then moving round, so I've still just got to sort out this little corner section in there. The trains will then sort of bank round that corner and then join up with the lines that will go all the way down here. So that set of corners there is only temporary. They will be a lot more sort of gentle, and then I'll be working out my track spacing in between, and then giving enough height for the wall and stuff on either side. With underneath, so at the moment I've added in this little plank that will go down the middle, so I'm going to have that continue all the way down each of these sections. So I'm just working out the measurements for those, and then what I'm going to do is have another edge all the way along on that, so it'll be nice and secure. So 8 inches wide, will have a support in the middle and a little bit off the edge all the way along on those sections there as well. And then I'm just temporarily holding up a little section at the end there. It's not the right cut wood or anything. The reason for having so many supports is because I'm using slightly thinner plywood, and what I can do then is just have the droppers come through the bottom of those in between the supports, and then wire down through and into the main baseboard here. Then with any sections in here, so I can put sort of maybe like a double arch, or I could leave it open and just have it as like an iron bridge section on that one, maybe a stone sort of tunnel or bridge on that one, and then maybe this one could be all sort of closed up and stuff. So there's a lot of variations in the different things that I can do. This main section here where the station will be, that's actually going to be closed off and like a retaining wall that will stretch down probably about sort of 3 or 4 foot on the main straight there. So I'm pretty pleased with a couple of days work just to be able to get this structure in on here. And then each of these sections is going to be kind of module, so they'll just be screwed together so that I can lift them out in the future. But what I'm going to do with this, for example, is all of the exposed woodwork on there will be brick papered, and then the same with all in the back there. I'm going to paint it all and then possibly put like kind of a back scene in the back there, because that's where another track will split off that will go down through out onto that section through the back there. So it's quite important that if I'm doing any sort of cube camera running sessions, I don't want to see open framework on anything. It'll be quite nice to have detail underneath the actual bridges and everything itself. So yeah, I don't want to see any kind of like woodwork. I just want it to look like it's a, you know, as close as possible to the real thing. So I'm gonna have to print off a lot of brick sheets, download some and get them printed off, and then I'll do the same with all of this kind of edging as well, because this will be a set of tunnels that will be exactly the same as on that side. So if you remember a few videos back, I was going to have tunnel portals over these 4 lines here, so I'll do exactly the same on this side. And then what I can do with this is to have some sort of shrubbery and stuff, an ivy, as if it's sort of hanging down, meeting towards the edge of the brick face. Then I'll do exactly the same with this part here. What I'll do is I'm going to make that all kind of a retaining wall that will meet up with like a bridge and stuff. So I'll probably do some more clay work and get all that sort of fixed up and everything as well. So I hope that's brought to life a little bit more of what I've been doing so far, and you can start to see now the progress that has been made on this top section, which for sort of 2-3 days work is not too bad to have, you know, the viaduct all in place, so I can get that wired up. I can get tracks and curbs all wired up in there. I can do all of the flexi track work up there and do all of the corners and almost up until this point here. So I'm back to work now for another week, so there'll be no more progress up here for this week, but I'll have a few more thoughts on sort of ideas and stuff that I can do for this section. So what I'm going to do is have a little bit of a running session, and I'll just show you some of the thoughts on the camera angles that I'm going to be doing for sort of like this section here. And yeah, hopefully next week I'll be back up here to kind of finish getting this section linked up with another board that will be in this section here. So thanks for joining me on another update. I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little bit more progress. Thank you to everybody that's joined me recently, and thanks to everyone that's keeping the channel going by still supporting and still subscribing to my channel. So thanks very much, take care everyone, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.